And we're live. Nate, how you doing?
Good, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing great. You are the
Happy
first
Halloween.
guest. Thank you. That's right. Oh my gosh, it's Halloween. I completely forgot. I don't celebrate pagan holidays.
Oh, I do. I'll celebrate for you.
Okay, wonderful. No, I do. I actually do. I love Halloween. One of my favorite holidays. But because a Catholic, it's bad. So before we get into it, I want to say you are the first guest in the official relabel of the show. It is now called Faith, Liberty, and Praxis. And you are the first guest of the new show. And
I'm honored.
Nice. Let me throw up the new intro real quick because I forgot I clicked that earlier. I don't know why that kept going. I only edited it for like 5 seconds and it just kept going.
That's fucking sick, man. I like it.
Thank you. I need to. I'm not editing is not one of the things I do a lot of, and so I'm trying to get better at it. But so people who are listening, you host, you're a co-host on the Reality Stars podcast. How do you say it?
Yep, Reality Stars podcast.
Nice. It's a great podcast.
I'm the loud, obnoxious one that won't shut the fuck up.
And I was one of the first podcasts I went on. That wasn't my own, and we did it like super late at night in all the time zones. And I was high and half asleep towards like the last 30 minutes of it. Like, yeah, guys, it's going great.
That was a good one, man. I should re-listen to that one. I don't know if we didn't argue too much, did we? I think
no.
Okay.
me and Craig argued a little bit, but sometimes Craig argues with everybody.
Yeah, Craig is confrontational. I love that about Craig.
I love Craig. Craig is. I haven't talked to him in a while, but he's on a podcast. I talked to him a little bit. He's a great dude.
You know where Craig stands, and he's very consistent. That's
a good thing.
That's my man.
What was it? That podcast was like that podcast got me to listen to what's his name? Matt Erickson on Pete Quinones. We were talking about. So I actually watched the whole thing, and that got me to get Matt on my show, which then also led to the relabel of the podcast, reading the Machiavellians, and kind of going the whole paleo praxis route. So thank you.
Yeah, buddy. Dude, that fucking listening to Matt on Pete's show actually blew my fucking mind and kind of changed my whole philosophy too a little bit. And I don't know what the fuck to call myself. I'm still an agorist, but I definitely think there's some paleo shit that we need to be on. Some post-libertarians are making some great points, and I'm very open-minded to that kind of shit. I think there's some smart folks doing some shit.
Oh yeah. The whole Andrew for Popular Liberty, he's on some. I don't know what he's on. I don't know if he's on LSD or some shit with that third eye, but he's got a plan. He's gonna enact it, and it's awesome.
I'm gonna be recording with him. I think in a couple weeks. I gotta. Nice. I have some questions for him. I think that I kind of have, like, I live in kind of a little blue. I live in a shithole blue state, but I live in like a red county. And like a little tiny, like podunk, great, like liberty loving, like little town. And I think that there's some cool shit we could do here, which is cool. So I'm going to talk to him about strategy and different stuff.
Nice. Yeah.
So
I had him on for, normally I only go for like an hour 30. I had him on, we went for 2.5 hours. Just because he's also Catholic. And so we just kept going like topic to topic to topic. It was, and he's great. He is. One of those people you talk to, you're just like, oh, you're really fucking smart. You know, those people you talk to, and you're like, oh, yeah, I think I'm smart, but you're like fucking out there. That's what he's like, that guy, and he's great.
I get that experience a lot anytime I talk to anybody, almost. But he's an interesting cat. I'm gonna have to re-listen to because I really want to have his. What the hell does he call it? One more time. Yeah, the anarchotropism, or is it? Anyways, whatever the fuck it is. Yeah. I have to re-listen to him and take some heavy notes, and then I'm going to have him on so I don't look like as much of an idiot as I am.
Yeah. I still don't get it. I've listened to every podcast he's done on it, and I still am like, he's written some articles and some lectures on it, which I might go and watch because I think it's right. I want to understand it. You know, I think, basically he's taking my entire mind on anarchism. Like, I still think it's possible. I just think you have to be able to replace the state in some people's minds, you know? And you can't, like, if you abolish it, they're going to rebuild it. And these people don't like leaving people alone, sadly. And so I'm all trying to find new solutions there.
That is a fascinating thing because, like, I do consider myself an anarchist, like, absolutely. And I hate the fucking state. But I've been talking to enough people where I think that they might be right as far as like, I don't know if we'll ever actually, and I mean ever, just because we're humans, have a stateless society.
Yeah.
Because humans fucking want a state. Whatever that state is going to look like. And so I think that the thing that we can do is we can build a better alternative, one that is more towards liberty.
Yeah.
Right. And you have to create that lifeboat to get people off the sinking ship, because people aren't going to jump on your ship, or, you know what I mean? If you're sitting there bitching about it, they're not going, like, you need to have something structured. You need to have something sound. You need to have something safe for them to feel like they will take a risk and join you. Yeah. But if you don't have something solid, they're going to say, fuck you, and just stick with and that's where we're at, because we're a bunch of fucking autists that like talk about philosophy and talk about like grand ideas, but a lot of us aren't builders. A lot of us haven't built anything, right? We talk about what it should be like, but we haven't put anything into practice, and that's where I think a lot of agorists get it right, because agorism is really about building those alternative systems through like counter economics. And there's some fucking great agorists out there. And that's half the reason why I consider myself an agorist. But I think the post-libertarians are doing some fucking smart things too. And so it's good to see all of those different ideas and people taking different approaches, and let's build something fucking solid so we can get off of this bullshit.
Yes. Yeah. One thing I was thinking about, like, this is why I've kind of gone more down the whole monarchist Hoppian route, is that it's like, if people want a government because they don't like, I wouldn't be left alone. So many people are incompetent, can't be left alone, and then they take that and say, well, I'm not incompetent, it's necessary, so I force everybody to be like me. And then you have to have something for those fucking losers. And I think it's all right, having like a strong monarch is peak liberty and peak government. And so it kind of covers both sides of things. It makes people happy, which is why I've kind of gone down the whole Hoppian route.
It's going to be tough to pick the fucking monarch.
Yeah.
They're going to have to rise through the ranks. I think when you find a good one, it's going to be painfully apparent. There's going to be like, this is the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what's hopeful with the monarch, if you get a good one, he'll also be a good parent, and he'll continue the process. That's one nice thing about monarch, because you don't have to worry about, okay, when he dies, where the fuck do we go? It's like, if he's doing his job, him and his family have raised the next one correctly, and you can just continue the process. That's what I hope. But that's
a fascinating thing, and so that's a tough thing too, right? Like, do you want to pick the successor? Like, right, that whole if you have a successor that's just biological, right, the firstborn son or something like that. What if you have a shitty one? Right. Yeah. And that's happened for eons and eons, but you also need that incentive. Like, I'm passing this on to my children, so I'm going to build the best thing possible. So that is interesting. I don't know. Yeah.
There's so many.
The succession will be complicated.
Yeah. There's so many things about monarchy. Like, I've read Democracy of God Declared once. I listened to it again. I'm going to read it a third time and I'm reading Yarvin again, Curtis Yarvin, trying to understand the whole royalist monarchy stuff, because there's so much there that I am fascinated by. Like, it seems like if it could work, it'd be perfect. But that's like everything. If it could work, it'd be perfect. I just think it has the most chance of actually working. But
it is a step backwards, but maybe we could have it. I don't know.
Well, I've been reading Ted Kaczynski. I think this step forward was our last step forward was a mistake. Have you read any of Technological Slavery by Ted Kaczynski?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. And then I'm listening to those podcasts right now with with Aaron and Pete, and they're great.
Oh, it's great. Oh, it's fantastic. I started listening to it, and I bought the book immediately to read it, because I didn't want to wait for the next episode. And the opening of the book, when he's like, I'm sorry the book is so well organized, my victims, and he puts victims in quotation marks. It's just like, yes. I love it. He's still in chaos. It's awesome.
I think Aaron mentioned that too. He's like, he must have had a good reason to pick the specific people he did, but it does kind of seem like he missed the mark a little bit with, I should say I might have in Minecraft picked different targets, but
yeah. Well, that guy nailed mail-in voting. I'm gonna write him a letter. I'm gonna write him a letter, because I want him to sign it. I'm gonna put the letter inside my book as a bookmarker. Like, I want to get an autograph from him.
That's awesome.
So, you've had some really interesting people on your podcast. You've had Pete, You've had what's his name? Magnus. I can't ever say his last name.
Pinvidia.
The mutualist guy. Pinvidia. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Dude,
want
he's
to
a
talk to him.
fucking
But...
interesting cat.
Yeah.
Good guy. Yeah, fucking interesting guy.
He's a mutualist, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Isn't he? So what? Maybe you can answer. I never really got what exactly a mutualist is.
I think I've had 3 mutualists on now to try to get that answered, and I still don't 100% get it. But what I do like about Magnus, and I do like about, I had another cat on, Dom. Both of those guys. Yep. Voluntary Dom. Dude. Yeah, really good dude.
I want to get him on so bad. I want to get him on because I want to get him on. I'm going to ask him when he come on. It's supposed to wear pit vipers. I'm going to get my hair cut into the mullet. Let's do the Florida boy look. Let's do this.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah.
Good guy.
I had both of those guys on, and I think I had another one. Anyways, long story short, they're almost a fucking ANCAP in a weird way. Like, they believe in free market capitalism, but it's their property rights that they find different. So, like, what they would, I'm not going to be the one to fucking explain this very well to you, but they don't like absentee landlordism. They think that it creates like, I mean. And I sort of get it. It's like if I fucking own all of this fucking shit, and then I don't. You're gonna have to fucking talk to them. And then they also a lot of them consider themselves socialists, but like at least Voluntary Dom and Magnus don't consider themselves socialists. It is kind of considered like libertarian socialism, so it is like left libertarianism, but they're interesting cats, man. I mean, they're definitely I would definitely consider them, they consider themselves voluntarists. Those are like the only people on the left that you could actually call an ally. Like, they're fucking serious, and they are fucking solid libertarians. They just have a different idea of what property rights would look like, and a lot of them have a different idea of what of like, I guess what like a corporation would look like. They more want to have like workers collectives and things like that. But I don't know. It's interesting. I'm going to be chatting with a couple of people pretty soon here. And they're called agri-synergists. So they're communist agorists, which seems fucking bizarre. I just want them to explain their praxis. They have like this really insane fucking like almost free market, but it's like just the way they want to do their workers collective, and they're voluntarists. So they're not going to tell you what to do with your company. They just have their own idea, and they're putting it into practice, which is really interesting. They got some property like out in Arizona and are like doing like a workers collective like farm thing out there. They're fascinating cats. They're pretty smart. And like in a fucking, let's say like an anarchist world, we're going to have all kinds of different flavors. And so I'm fine with that, as long as they let me live the way I want to fucking live.
Yeah.
So, and I like at least that they're putting their shit into practice and they're doing it right now, which is fucking fascinating.
Yeah. Yeah. I have a problem with anybody who's a universalist who wants to apply one system universally. I think that is one just won't work. And voluntarily that won't work. And so I have my issue with anyone who's like, even libertarian universalist, like I'm like, I don't trust these people. I think it could work. I think the way you're gonna get is not through libertarian principles. And so I have an issue with the universalist crowd. But
yeah, I mean, any one of these cats wants us to live in a much freer society than we live right now. Yeah. And I want to see, just like I want to see the LPMC doing their thing, and I want to see the post-libertarians and the agorists and the fucking lulberts trying to work together to fucking make a freer society. I want to see different flavors of anarchists doing the same thing, and I think we can work together to slowly dismantle the state. I mean, it's not going to fucking happen for a long time, but what I like is that those people are putting their fucking money where their mouth is, and they are creating a freer society for themselves right now. They're not asking permission. They're like, fuck you, I'm doing it myself.
Yeah. I love that.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah. Those people are fantastic. People who have that kind of like, fuck you energy, I love those people.
Well, I think that's the part of the agorist in their praxis. That's that little part of the like, well, it's the black market and I'm going to fucking do it. And I don't care what you have to say. And when you pass a law, all I do is I see that as an opportunity. When you pass a new law, you just opened up the market for me. Yeah. You just made things actually more profitable for me.
Yeah.
And that's what I love about agorism.
Yeah. There was some like in my county, in my city, Balto, we still have outdated prohibition laws on Sunday. You can't buy liquor on Sunday, and you can't buy wine or beer after 12 o'clock. And I've talked to all the business owners about it, and they're like, "Yeah, my computer system's hooked up to the internet, and it literally won't let me sell it. So I have to do a cash only for that kind of stuff." It's like, it's cool to doing it, but at the same time, I'm been emailing the mayor and the city council. I'm going to meet with the city council probably over the next few weeks to get that law repealed, because it pisses me off. If I leave church on a Sunday, it's 11:35. I want to go buy my beer and go home. I don't want to go back out or wait 30 minutes.
Yeah.
And so I'm gonna.
You got to go to a church further away from home, man.
Yeah, my church is great, man. It's like 5 minutes down the road. It's local. Everyone. I am the youngest person there, though. Everyone there is like 80.
Yeah, you told me about that. How are they on the mask thing? Are they still wearing their masks?
They got the grandkids wearing masks. I mean, it's fucking terrible.
Come on, man, you're Floridians.
I know. I about lost my shit in church the other day. A kid was pulling his mask down, and the mom got mad and grabbed it and snapped it on his face. And I about just decked the shit out of her in church. I was like, boom! I was so ready to go. I was mad. Kids in masks, it fucking bugs me.
So they don't give a shit if you don't wear one?
No, they don't give a shit. There's so many people there all wearing them. Most people there were 80, so I don't mind, I guess. But at the same time, it's like there are some people who wear masks who obviously don't need to be wearing masks.
As long as they're not telling me to wear a mask. I still feel uncomfortable though in a fucking situation like that. Like like I said, I live in a little red fucking county. In a little red town in a fucking giant blue state. And I visited a new church this morning. I took the little boy to church this morning, and there was 3 people with masks on. There was probably 150 people there. There was like 3 fucking people with masks. It was fucking great. I'm pretty sure that's illegal. I'm not saying what church that is because they'd probably get shut down. It's fucking great.
Yeah. Is this your first kid or your
So when I was a teenager, I had a little one. And so my son is 14 and he's wild and he's out in the back doing something. And then I took a nice long break and I got married about 2.5 years ago. And this is our first little one together.
Nice. Both boys or?
Both boys.
Nice. Congratulations.
Thank you, brother.
Yeah. There's a lot of people. I feel so weird. My online friend group, everyone I know is married with kids. And I'm over here just like, hey, I still live at home. it's a weird dynamic. I'm probably like, hey, we do a podcast tonight. He's like, I was gonna do a podcast with my friend Jacob, Wingrad, and he's like, let's do it. And he's like, me like an hour later, hey, I forgot, I got to take the kids trick or treating. I'm like, yeah. It's so weird that I'm over here like, what am I gonna do tonight? I'll do a podcast with my boy, and he's like, I gotta take the kids trick or treating. It's so different, so weird.
Well, buddy, you're gonna be on here pretty soon. You're gonna get hitched and have some babies.
I met this girl. Okay, this is a fun story. So I met a girl, hit it off. Goes, I get her number. Fantastic. What's sad for like 2 weeks now. It's outing. It's great.
I think I saw the tweet you put out.
She says, "What church do you go to?" I told her St. Thomas Aquinas. He goes, "Oh, you're Catholic." I said, "Yeah." Boom, ghosted. Just fucking ghosted.
I get it. I totally get it. Protestants can be weird about Catholicism.
Yeah.
I was for the longest time. I'm now much nicer to you guys, and I love you guys. I see you guys as brothers in Christ, but it took me a while.
Yeah.
Like, we're indoctrinated good. You guys are cannibals.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, it's I have a friend who's an Orthodox, and I get called cannibal. He gets called pagan, and it's fantastic. It's
don't the Orthodox think that they're nomming some body of Christ too?
They do, but for some reason they have a high emphasis on iconography and statues, and so they get called pagan more.
Okay,
right. It's honestly, it's how do I put this? There's so many weird things with like Protestant Protestantism. I have a friend who's like very anti-Catholic, and he keeps pointing at all these dumb Catholics and using them as examples, and I'm like, there are dumb Catholics. Then it's what the church actually teaches. Now there are dumb Protestant churches, and there are dumb Protestants. Like, there's a bit of a difference here. Like, you have like the Westboro Baptist Church people who are their own little thing, and yet my people, when they say something stupid, they're not representing the church because the church specifically says no, you can't do that. So don't try to. He keeps trying to throw like bad people on top of my church. And I'm like, no, it's not. we deliberately say that's bad. It's the difference.
I found a slight hole in your guys' philosophy here.
What is
So
it?
I'm going to ruin Catholicism for you right now.
Let's do it.
I'm just kidding, but I find it funny because I knew some Catholic people that were like really upset and were wanting gluten-free fucking crackers, and I was like, you don't believe in your own religion, because if you did, the body of Christ is keto. As soon as you eat that, it turns into the body of Christ. It's no longer wheat. You shouldn't worry about gluten-free crackers. And they're like, I'm really pissed off.
Honestly, that is hilarious. Just thinking about I'm just imagining someone in my church walking up to the pastor like, can we have gluten-free crackers? Like, they aren't crackers anymore.
They are gluten-free. Christ is gluten-free.
Christ is gluten-free. Oh, dude, my church just brought back receiving on the tongue, which I have never seen before. But it's very, I'm going to be a little bit heretic right now. It's weird watching old people walk up to another old guy and just drop to their knees and he puts stuff in their mouth.
Yeah.
It's very weird. I'm just watching these people walk up and go, it's.
Is it weirder getting in front of the old guy and then kneeling and sticking your mouth open?
I received by the hand. I ain't doing that.
You haven't done it yet?
No,
You're
I'm
not
not
a real
doing by
Catholic.
mouth.
Get over there.
I still haven't gotten the blood. We're still our diocese still won't let us do the wine because of COVID, because you got to sterile glass, and it's like,
oh, that's bullshit.
Come on, I'm tired of this. Like, first of all, there's too many old people already, so let's start working on this.
Our God is an awesome God, isn't he? Like, come on, let's pour out some fucking wine. And
my church finally brought back hymn books. Like, they brought back the old school hymn books, and it's like we have a whole choir now, and it's great. I love going to like an old church because I have like the hymns are great, the choir, there's an organ, it's so peaceful in there.
That's cool, man. I don't think I've ever actually sat through a whole mass. I think I was trying to sleep with a Catholic girl in high school, and she made me go through half a fucking mass, and I kind of walked out. So I should check it out.
Oh, you said they're fantastic. There's something about, for example, the Catholic Church. You have I can't remember the names of it right now. You have the sermon where the mass is held. And you have a separate building for hanging out, because people don't like talk and hang out a lot in the main sanctuary area, and so it's a very calm, peaceful. I mean, in mine you can hear a pin drop. It's just mellow, and then about 30 minutes early they start playing the rosary, so you can come sit down, join everyone for like 30 minutes of prayer beforehand, and you go right into service. And there's something about that, like praying as a group and then going into service together. It's a nice thing about that, And so I really do enjoy my Catholic Mass. It's fun.
That's awesome, man.
So let's talk a little bit of Star Trek. You watching DS9
buddy.
again? DS9 is my favorite Star Trek, probably my favorite TV show ever made, because it's so good.
Dude, it's great. Yeah, I'm rewatching it right now. I've seen the series like 3 times, but like I smoked way too much weed when I was a fucking kid, so my brain is like a sieve. So I'm rewatching it right now with my little one.
Oh, what do you think of it? What are you, like 5-6 episodes in or something?
I think I'm on episode 5 right now.
Nice.
It has Tosk in it. You know who I'm talking about?
I think so.
The guy running away. Yeah, I think that's.
Like,
I'm pretty sure. I'm only halfway through the episode. I'm pretty sure I know what's happening. Like, he was the one sacrifice guy. He's the. Anyways, I don't know.
I think so. For me, when Cisco grows his goatee, the whole show jumps. Like, it just goes from like, this is pretty good to this is the greatest. Like, it is. Oh, there's so many lessons too in it. Like the fact that they straight up have Starfleet people turn to terrorism against governments, and they're just like, you want to respect our property rights, and then they just start blowing shit up. It's amazing,
dude. It's fucking great. Yeah, it really is. There's so much to it. Like, and it's definitely Israel and Palestine. It's definitely like there's so many different things that show is. Yeah, which is fascinating. And Cisco really is the best. Yeah. Cisco's the best fucking captain, dude. Yes. Even though he's not the captain for a long time.
Yeah, Avery Brooks is insane as a real life person. I don't know if you've seen his interviews. He did.
I think I've seen a couple. Yeah.
This one is amazing. William Sadler was doing a documentary called The Captains, where he interviewed each of the Starfleet captains, and he said that was Avery Brooks. And Avery Brooks just starts playing the piano, and it sounds like, so music comes from God to you. He's like, no, comes through me. And then sounds like, what happens when we die? And Brooks just starts giggling and laughing and goes, you tell me. He goes, I don't know. and Brooke starts playing the piano and giggling some more, and he didn't know what was happening, but he's playing "I Wish I Knew" on the piano, and so he's answering him on the piano, and no one got it.
Yeah.
It's like he's really smart and kind of eccentric. It's just,
oh yeah,
he's a great actor too. He quit acting sadly, but he was a fantastic actor.
I think you have to be a little nuts to be a good actor.
Yeah,
because you're literally pretending to be someone you're not. So you have to be kind of fucking crazy to be believable.
Yeah, I mean, after Alec Baldwin's a great actor. You know, he's so crazy he killed people.
Alec Baldwin, yeah, that crazy fuck.
That is my I feel so bad for the person who died, but that's my favorite story of the whole year. Because Alec Baldwin is such a fucking loser. Seeing the memes and the jokes and everything.
He's so unlikable, dude. Alec Baldwin is so fucking unlikable. Yeah, I do feel bad about the girl who got shot.
Yeah.
Dude, somebody's going to jail for that shit.
I don't know who it is. Like, he might get a manslaughter, but I think the guy who was in front of the props is going to get it.
Well, that was the whole shitty thing is like, I feel actually kind of bad for Alec Baldwin because no one should ever hand him a gun. Like, he's an anti-gun nut. So you know he knows nothing about fucking gun safety. So when somebody hands him a fucking weapon and says it's cold, he doesn't fucking he doesn't check the fucking clip. He doesn't fucking clear the chamber. He doesn't know. He doesn't know how to do shit. So he just thinks it is, and then he just points it and
it goes off. I can't. Yeah. I can't imagine being in a position where you pull a gun to a scene and an actual bullet comes like, well, that's a pretty good prop. And then someone screams, they're like, oh, fuck. Like, I just can't imagine being that. Dude, the amount, I don't know if you've seen this, but there are like some TikTok conspiracy series going on around the whole Alec Baldwin thing being tied to the Clintons. Have you seen any of these?
No, that's great. Tell me about it.
So the one I saw, which is clearly not true, was that the cinematographer who was shot, her ex-fiance was dating the person who is the son-in-law of the lawyer who represented Epstein or something.
Are you sure that's not true?
I think that actually might be true.
I think that actually might be true. I heard that.
Yeah, but
I heard she was also working on an anti-pedo in Hollywood documentary and shit. And I don't know if that's true or not, but that's funny.
Either way, it's like if it did happen, it's just like the idea that they say all this stuff that might be true. Then they go, so the Clintons asked Baldwin to kill her, and it's like I don't think that's Baldwin's best skill. The Clintons have people for that. You know, hypothetically, they have people for that.
You would never fucking they would never expect it though. I mean, like Alec Baldwin would be the perfect person.
He's a sleeper agent, and so you walk up to him and you say "Code Blue," and he just boom pops the stock.
That's great.
I'm trying to watch more conspiracy series. I'm gonna try to get Ryan Dawson on a podcast to talk about fake conspiracy series, ones that the government clearly is putting out there. Like 9/11 was an inside job, but it's like, okay, there's actual 9/11 conspiracies that make sense. Some of them don't. I'm tired of being roped into the ones that don't make any sense, you know. And so I'm gonna try to get him on and talk about fake conspiracy
directed energy weapons, and those planes were holograms.
Ooh, what here? So I had a coworker who was
There are some people that believe what I just said, and they're going to get angry, and they're going to leave a comment and call me a shill. But
I hope they do. I want to hot react every single one of them. I had a coworker who loved conspiracy theories, but he was a hillbilly retard type. Like he wanted his girl to take a shit on him. That's how hillbilly retarded he was. Okay, he's just out there. And he said, "Caleb, you want to hear 100% true fact about the world?" I'm like, "Sure, Timmy. What is it?" He goes, "The moon is a holographic." Like, I paused like a minute. Like, you mean a hologram, Timmy? He said, yeah. I'm like, I'm not fucking doing this today. I'm not engaging with this one today.
100% true.
100%. Yeah, the moon's a holographic, put up by the Egyptians to make money off of NASA. He literally said that to me. The Egyptians made the moon to make money off of NASA. I'm like,
interesting.
Okay,
where are the Egyptians now, and how are they collecting the check?
I don't know, but if I bump into him again, I'm going to bring him over to get really high, and we're going to talk about it.
Dude, get him on the podcast.
That'd be fun. We'll get him really fucking high and just have him explain that shit for like an hour.
Dude, hit me up. I'll ask him all the questions.
That'd be great. Yeah, I don't know. I never really got on the conspiracy theory train. You know, I never really went down the whole going deep on conspiracy theories. But there's some of them now I'm researching. I'm kind of like, that's pretty fun. Like, it's fun to.
A lot of them are fun as shit. and a lot of them are true. And I've been having a lot of fun with conspiracy theories because, like, my podcast is half truther, half, I guess, libertarian or anarchist or whatever the fuck we are. And so we've had some interesting guests on as far as conspiracy theories. And I mean, actually, the last episode, the one I just put out last, as with Paz from Timeline Earth, we did one on giants, and it was fucking awesome. Everyone should go check it out. Paz is the shit, man.
I just started listening to. I didn't know who any of these people were from Timeline Earth because I got into the movement so late. I don't know who any of these people were, and I just found out who like Timeline Earth was, and like the like Bird. I just listened to Pete's 5-part Marxist episodes. Bird.
Oh, they're so good. Bird is fucking awesome, dude.
Yeah,
Bird is brilliant.
I'm blown away. Like the post-Marxist Hopper episode, I've listened to it 3 times now, and every time I get a little bit something new out of it because it's so crazy but accurate. Hopper's like the weird Marxist. It's weird.
Well, back in the day, they were called the Fadcast. They were Friends Against Government. And like I had heard Bird on there, and Bird and Aaron, everybody, and I just thought they were just goofy and like they were funny, and I just thought they were goofballs. And then I heard him on Pete's show break down all of those like Marxists. I was like, holy shit, Bird is brilliant too. Like he's funny as shit, and he's fucking smart.
Yeah, I started listening to Timeline Earth, and those people are incredible. I mean, Aaron, great, Bird, man. And Paul. There's so many interesting people in our movement. You know, I can never like so many people in the movement I can get on the podcast and talk to, and get them back on again 6 months later to talk about other stuff. You know, there's so many smart and fun people, as opposed to when you're in the conservative movement. When I was in the conservative movement, it's like there's no one. There's big names, and then there's losers. I can't like there's big name people. There's really no one like middling. Well, interesting.
They're fucking boring, man, and they're inconsistent. Like I was actually just talking to a conservative a little bit ago. I took my family to the pumpkin patch, right? And this is a big outdoor cool pumpkin patch with like a fucking corn maze and shit. It's like a fun place to go. And the security guard there, he's like, "Got to put on a mask." And I was like, "We're outdoors, man." I'm like, "What the fuck?" And he's like, "You gotta. I'm sorry, it's the governor's rules." And I was like, "Man, fuck her." And he was like, "Well, yeah, I know she's a cunt, but you got to put on the mask." And I was like, "All right." So he hands us fucking mask. We got to put it on. So we were wearing these shitty masks. And then he like whispers to me. He goes, "Don't worry. We're going to stand up pretty soon." And I was like, "Are you?" So like
when?
Yeah, well, that's what my question was. I was like,
win.
"Sure, buddy." I was like, "I'm with you," and fist bumped him. And then like later on, I fucking ran into him again, and I was like, "So where's your guys' line? When are you guys going to rise up?" I was like, "They're fucking firing military people. They're firing cops. They're firing doctors. They're firing nurses. They're firing teachers."
Replacing nurses is the creepiest one to me. Like
my buddy's a doctor. He got shit canned. My buddy's a doctor, got completely shit canned. It sucks. He's working telemedicine now. He's fine. But like that's what I fucking said to him. I was like, where are you at, man? I was like, the first time they did this, the first time they told you to put that piece of shit on your face, if you guys meant what you fucking mean, if you guys meant like we're going by the Constitution, you guys would have picked up a gun already. You guys are pussies. And I mean, I haven't picked up a gun either, but you know what I mean? Like, it just, I get so annoyed by their fucking LARPing and their big talk. Yeah. You know, and they're like, "Don't worry, we got this, brother." I'm like, do we? Okay.
It's always like, I know a guy who's like really fat and in a weird state. He's like, "We're going to rise up." I'm like, "You can't even rise out of your fucking seat, old man." Okay, knock it off. It's, I honestly, I'm torn. On one hand, I wish people would fucking do something, but at the same time, I know like unless you do it on mass with everybody, it ain't gonna fucking work. And so I'm kind of glad no one's like, because the government's already looking to label everyone domestic terrorists.
Yeah, that's the whole problem, man. It's the problem, reaction, solution. It's dude, it's that whole fucking. I think that's what they're looking for. They're gonna keep pushing us, and they're gonna wait for a few like lone nuts to do something stupid, and then they can loop us all into that fucking, you know what I mean? Put us all in that box, and then.
I mean, there's no doubt the FBI has plans right now in groups trying to spur that shit on. I mean, there's no doubt they did it for 1-6. It was N6. They did it at the Proud Boys. And they had the Proud Boys in an FBI plant. That's been confirmed. It's like, yeah, it's. I'm thinking like the only way we're going to really survive is the whole getting local government set. Getting your local area just to nullify the shit and say, hey, you can't fucking do that.
Yeah, I mean, I get that's the post-libertarian trip, and I want them to keep working on that, but I'm not holding my breath, and I'm not fucking. I think that to me, that's where agorism is the answer. Is like even smaller localism, like get your community together, like get your fucking 12 best friends together, like no. Do you raise chickens? Like, because I raise quail. Like these things produce fucking all the time, giving me fucking like tons of eggs every single day. I can barter with those. I can fucking sell them. I can eat them. I can kill one of my quails. I can eat them. Like, get to know your fucking neighbor. To me, getting to know your neighbor is more important than voting.
Absolutely. I started doing this now. I now know about 6 of my local business owners. I just started walking in there. It's like no idea. I walk in there close to closing, and I'll just be like, "Yeah, you close it up soon." Yeah, I'm like, "Oh, that sucks." And I saw a conversation, kind of hang out for a bit. Like I went, what was it? There's an ice cream shop opening up next to my gym. They're not open yet. They open tomorrow actually. And so I walked up to him. I'm like, "Hey man, when you open?" He's like, "In a few weeks." I'm like, "That sucks." He goes, "You want a free sample?" I'm like, "Fuck yeah!" So I go inside. I get a free sample. Talk for an hour about local businesses, regulations around it all, what's going on, what's the government. Just kind of like talk to him for an hour. And I'm done with all my neighbors are doing it. I'm doing it with my business owners. I'm amassing everyone around me I can. It's like talking to them, kind of like making friends. Because part of me was a joke once to run for mayor. I could afford it and I could probably win it. But at the same time, I was like, I don't fucking have time for that. I mean, I'm trying to go to school still. I don't have time to run for mayor. But it'd be fun.
Mayor Brown.
I
like it, buddy.
It'd be so easy. I've been emailing the mayor for like about 2 months now and getting an email back like once a month. And just like the incompetence of this government. And old people fucking love me. And my church is like 80% of the population of the city. And so I could just go from there, get the old people on board who actually vote in local elections, and it's over. Like $500, local stuff, I could win it. No doubt.
What are you doing, man? Mayor Brown.
I'm laughing. That's what I'm doing. I'm still thinking about it. I guess I'm seriously considering. But I think I don't reach the age limit yet. You got to be 25, I think. And so but also it's like next election isn't for 2 more years. So I could spend 2 years campaigning. And then right when I hit it, boom, be the youngest mayor in the city, which also goes in my advantage because people
God damn it, I always forget how young you are.
People ask, how old do you get? I'm like, I'm 23, and they're like, really? I'm like, I know. I don't the beard and the hair, but yeah, I'm fucking young. Anyway, what was I gonna ask you about? I made notes up for this and lost my notebook, and so I lost all my notes in advance. What kind of church do you go to?
Right now, I go to a couple different churches, but the one that I guess is my home church. It's a messianic church. If you're familiar with those, it's like so it's I'd probably say the majority of the people in my church are Jewish, and a lot of them are wearing like kippahs and have like the prayer shawls and shit, and we blow the shofar. They respect the old like traditions, and we do all like the high holidays and things like that. But it's also a charismatic church, which is interesting, and they don't go by any of the laws. So like they'll eat bacon while while blowing a shofar, which is crazy. And they're great people. Majority of them are from Russia. So I go to, it's like a Russian Messianic Jewish church. And I had some buddies from Russia, and they invited me to go to this church. And this was like in the middle of like the crazy lockdowns here in Oregon. Like I know you guys never had shit, but we had some shit. And this is like when it was like crazy shit. And like I don't even think most churches were open at this point. And my friends invited me to go here, and there was not a single person with a mask. Everyone was fucking hugging and like shaking hands, Shabbat Shalom. Like everyone was like getting together. There was no fucking social distancing. We were all just like praising God and just had a great time. And I was like, these are my tribe. These are my people. Like there was no fear. We're like, we believe in God. We're here for a reason, and the government's not going to shut us down. And I was like, okay, I'm giving these guys a shot. So like, I've never gone to a Messianic church before. Like I've always been in kind of like non-denominational kind of charismatic churches, but not like crazy. Like you and I have talked about that, like kind of Pentecostal, but not as Pentecostal as the church you came from, probably.
Yeah, we were crazy, man. People
There's
were
no
running around
snakes.
clapping hands. It was
I love that shit too. Honestly, like I've got some friends that are in Pentecostal churches that are fun. But
I'm glad my church for all its Pentecostal, like peak Pentecostal, is never do prosperity preaching and asking for money, which I respect that a lot. Also, we never had to. Like the first I used to go to has had bills paid since beginning of it. They never missed a single bill of payment. They are paid off for like the next 5 years of set. They are. I don't know how they're doing it. They got lucky. They got the right people in there.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so I've got an interesting church, man, and like it's great. I love my pastor. He's a fucking brilliant dude. Yeah, it's great, dude. It's fucking great. Every couple weeks or so, he has me go up there. Like next week, I have a sermon that I'm doing over there. So
nice, dude. That is I'm not trying to toot my own horn or anything or brag on myself, but I might say it's I go to RCI classes still, which is the I can't remember the actual title for it, but it's a Catholic school pretty much for adults to learn everything. And my teachers multiple times now have been like, ask the class a question and say, "Caleb, what's the answer?" And they now want me to start teaching things. To like
that's awesome, dude.
They said the adults don't know anything. I'm not teaching the kids anything. Can you come teach the adults? I'm like, fuck no. I'm 22 years old. I'm not going to sit down in front of 80-year-olds and explain to them their religion.
Like, you should, man. You should, man. What are you doing? Where's your ambition, buddy? You got to climb that ladder. You can wear that little.
I've thought about it. I probably will end up saying yes to it, but at the same time, it's so. I mean, these people are old. I mean, they were born and raised in the church 80 years now. This church was founded in 1930s. You know, so people that have been there from beginning. Like, this is long. People here have been going in their entire lives, and it's like they want me to. You guys been there about less than a year to start like doing things. It's a weird. The people that like me, you know, which is nice, but at the same time, I feel like if I start trying to tell them how to do things, you know, I was like, imagine telling an 80-year-old they're doing something wrong. They've been doing their whole life. You know, it ain't gonna work.
Yeah, that is interesting, man. I started working in restaurants when I was young, dude. Like, I think my first restaurant job when I was like 15, washing dishes, and within like a year and a half or something, I was the sous chef. And so, like, I was like 16, maybe 17 at that point, and trying to tell like 35-year-old, 40-year-old dudes what to do.
Yeah,
they don't like that shit.
No, they don't. And like, I can't imagine. It's gotta be like. Yeah, I've been in a position before because where I work, I got promoted early. You know, so I have people who are like older than me or like trying to tell them how to do their job and stuff. Like, it's not fun. I don't enjoy it. They don't enjoy it. You know, these people already like me. I don't want to make them not like me, which is why I probably won't end up doing it. But it's,
yeah. The closest comparison that I can think of is just being a line cook. Being a line cook was fun, but eventually I'm always the asshole they like try to put in charge. And then it's not fun anymore because nobody likes their manager, you know?
What do you do? What do you do for a living anyway?
I don't really talk about what I do, sort of, but like for the most part, I work sort of in the food service industry, doing different things.
Cool. I gotta ask, how was COVID then? Like, I'm so like food stuff got shut down hard.
Nothing got shut down for me.
Really?
We're like a weird little private thing that we had going on. It never slowed down. I never missed one day of work.
Lucky you. Congratulations.
I got very lucky, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I already think that I have like the best job in the area. And and then I was one of, very few people that work in the food service industry that didn't fucking
That's
never
good.
missed a day. I got lucky. God bless. Yeah. Blessed.
Are you planning to stick around? I know a lot of people are on Liberty moving, kind of like moving around, trying to get to better states. Are you going to stick around, you think? Or
well, so I moved out of a blue county and moved out of a blue town to a little nice rural area. I got a fucking pretty nice little house with a pretty big backyard for the price that, I mean, for half the price of what it would have been where I was at. I like it out here so far. Like, we have a sheriff out here that says that he's a constitutional sheriff and he won't enforce any of the jab or the mask mandates and things like that, which is pretty fucking fantastic. The problem is that I still work in the blue shithole. And so as they're tightening up, I don't know if, this whole jab mandate thing is going to affect me or not.
Yeah.
And if it does, fuck you. I'm not taking your fucking jab. You can shove that up your ass. So, I mean, at that point, I might have to fucking sell my house. I mean, I like this area. I like it for now, but it's stupid to be out here.
Yeah.
Like, I have family here, and we just had a baby, and like all the in-laws and the family, they want to see the baby. But dude, I'm looking at Idaho like a motherfucker. I'm looking at Montana. I'm looking at Wyoming. Like, Florida would be nice, but it's too fucking sweaty out there.
I don't blame you, man. I love Florida, but I was born and raised in it, so I'm acclimated to the humidity, and it still fucking gets me.
It's too much for me, man. I like the cold sucks, but like Idaho's fucking beautiful, man. I don't know if you've ever been to Idaho or know anything about it, but dude, it's like pristine and fucking beautiful. There's lakes and rivers and forests and good hunting and like chill fucking people. They're a little bit too rednecky, like the problem, like too bootlicky, and I think that you can go to jail for like a year for weed or something like that. Wow. Which kind of sucks. So I'm gonna have to figure that out. But
yeah, that's one of the things that's been crazy. I've noticed people in my community when it came to weed 3 years ago were like, it's the devil's lettuce, and now everyone I know is like on Delta 8. Like the Delta 8 legal stuff. Everyone I know, like audio people, and they're just like, it helps my joints and arthritis. Now all Boulder said it's great, but because they have Delta 8, they're not looking to legalize it.
See, that's the whole thing about. I've been having arguments, I guess, with conservatives for a while, and I actually talked about this with Pete when he was on my show. It's this funny thing where conservatives are stuck on enforcing laws. They're like, this is the law, though. And I'm like, what is your most important thing? Like, is it the Constitution? Is this law unconstitutional? Who passed this law? Was it a fucking, like, you can't call yourself a fucking conservative and then uphold a law passed by a progressive. Yeah. You're just shooting yourself in the foot.
Yeah. One thing they didn't give, like, a law can be a law and still be an illegal law.
Yeah.
Like, we have laws on the books that are unconstitutional and illegal. And they don't like, well, the law all works in tandem. And then if it's the law, it can't be illegal. That's a contradiction in terms. And it's like, no, laws can be illegal. Which is like, you talk to a conservative, they're just like.
Yeah, this is when their fucking brain starts to fry.
Yeah. I went to a Halloween party last night, and all Delta 8. It was all completely illegal, and I had one kid here was just like, "Oh, isn't this illegal though?" It's like, I had to, like, so I was high off my ass, drunk as shit, and people were like, "So, what's your politics?" And so I went off on an hour-long tangent about monarchy. Which was, I had fun with it, and people asking me all kinds of questions was also kind of fun. But at the same time, it's just like, it was a weird situation to be sitting down. I was literally phasing in and out of reality. I was like, here, not here. And people were like, so what's your politics here? Do you vote conservative? And it's like, let's go. It was a fun time.
I mean, I'd vote conservative if they meant what they said.
Yeah.
I'm like,
it sucks.
I mean, like, if homie meant it, he was like, we're going to get him. I'd be like, okay, you're my man. You're my dude. Let's do it. Like, what are you doing? But they're fucking pussies.
Yeah. Well, I have another podcast in about 10 minutes I got to hop on to. Nate, where can people find you at?
They can find me. I am on Twitter at woke_contrarian. And you can also find my, I think we're at Reality Czars Pod on Twitter as well. You can link in the description. Awesome, buddy. Yeah, and you can find our show on, I don't know, what the fuck is it? Like on Anchor or whatever, and you can find us on Spotify, Google, whatever you want.
Are you not
Just look us up.
Are you not on YouTube at all?
No, I say all kinds of crazy shit, like Joe Biden drinks baby blood after he rapes them and shit. I say all kinds of...
I hope it is, okay?
I mean, the whole thing is like, We're after 5 minutes, and Jose Gallison says you should be fine after that. He says you're good to drop hard R's after 5 minutes. That's his rule. So I think we're safe.
Jose is great. Jose and I are doing a live reading of the Aguas Primo by Conkin.
I like it.
It's going. Yeah,
ooh, that'll be a good one.
Yeah, Jose's
I'll watch
a
that.
fun dude. I met him at Tom Woods. Tom Woods was a crazy event because I don't day drink, but I did at Tom Woods, and so by the time of the event, I was like gone, and I sobered up, and I was like getting a hangover, like that. Like I sobered up to the event and started like feeling nauseous afterwards, and I was like, this is a weird event for me.
That's fun, man. Did you get to meet Tom?
I did not. No. I did meet Eric July and So Bishop, which was fun.
That's awesome.
Dude, Eric July was a crazy one because I was leaving the hotel like I want to get the mass that day, so I was leaving early. So I'm checking out like 7:30 in the morning, and he's checking out right next to me. And I'm like, hey, my window! I can actually get a photo now with no one around to bug me. Let's do this. So it was a lot of fun.
Awesome, buddy. I gotta go take my kids. We're gonna go trick or treating too. So
nice. Have fun with that, man.
Hell yeah, man. Well, God bless.
Well, guys. God bless. Well, guys, been an episode of the Faith, Liberty, and Praxis with Nate. I'm your host, Caleb. Go read more books.